Hello, everyone, and welcome to the University of Tulsa. I'm so excited that you decided to come to the University of Tulsa to have your graduate studies here with us. My name is Laura Seminal, and I'm a Director of Global Student Mobility at the Center for Global Engagement. I'm here today to welcome you to the University of Tulsa and also give you some important information that you need to know as a graduate student. Here with me, I have my two amazing colleagues, and they are going to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Kim Henderson, and I'm the Director of International Student and Scholar Services. And I am thrilled to have you join us here at the University of Tulsa. Our office is going to be available to help and support you throughout your entire academic career here at the University of Tulsa.
Hi, my name is Carla Guthrie. I'm the Senior SEVIS Compliance Officer at the University of Tulsa. You may recognize my name from your I-20 or your DS 2019. I am the Immigration Officer and give immigration advice and guidance to all of our international students. We are so excited to have you here at the University of Tulsa and look forward to serving you this next year.
Great, so we're going to get started. I'm going to share some slides with you. And you can also access those slides at the same place that you found this video. So let's get started. Welcome to TU. We're going to get started on our presentation with a lot of information about immigration. So go ahead, Carla.
All right. So ultimately, maintaining a valid visa status is your responsibility. Knowing the purpose of and information on each of your immigration documents is very important. We're going to go over some of those today, and I believe on the next slide, yes, here we go. Your passport. Your passport proves your citizenship. Your home country citizenship never expires, and while in the U.S., your passport shouldn't either. The passport must remain valid for at least 6 months into the future, the entire time you are in the U.S., and should never expire while you are in the States. The next one, I-20 or DS 2019. It was issued to allow you to apply for a visa and admission to enter the U.S. These documents should be kept up to date at all times and should not expire until your program is fully completed. They're used in conjunction with your passport and your visa. Before traveling, make sure your travel signature is up to date. The next one on the list is your visa. That, along with your I-20 or DS 2019, is your evidence to CBP, Customs and Border Protection, to assist them in making the determination of whether or not to allow you entrance into the U.S. Obviously, you have made that, so we are welcoming you if you are here in person. The ultimate decision lies with CBP. Your visa can expire while you're in the U.S. because its purpose is to allow entrance. Therefore, when it expires, if you remain in the U.S., you're fine. But if it expires and you travel outside the U.S., it must be renewed before you can be allowed to enter again. There are exceptions to this called automatic revalidation, and that is for short trips less than 30 days to Mexico or to Canada. Last on this list is the I-94, or the Arrival Departure Record. Each time you enter or depart the U.S., it's recorded electronically. It's recommended that you check this each time you re-enter the U.S. to make sure that the customs official entered the correct information. Sometimes mistakes happen, we're all human, but it is your responsibility to make sure the CBP office entered you in the correct classification, such as F1 or J1, depending on your visa type. If you have dependents, their I-94 should correctly reflect their visa type, such as F2 or J2 as well, so be sure and check those. An inaccurate record can have serious consequences, such as accumulation of overstay, an impact on your ability to file for certain benefits, such as OPT, or to even obtain a driver's license. Steps to take once you arrive to campus. Once you are granted admission to the U.S. and you arrive to the University of Tulsa campus, you'll need to complete your official immigration check-in. You'll receive information that is very important for each international student to know and remember during their time at TU. And within the U.S., there are government rules and regulations you are required to know and follow, as well as university guidelines. After you've completed the check-in, you'll be given authorization to enroll in courses if you have not already. Once that happens, we can then register your SEVIS record in the government system. During this process, we inform the government that you have arrived at the destination you said you would, enrolled in classes, and by doing so are complying with the immigration rules and regulations. You are then issued what is called a continued attendance I-20. If you have an F1 visa, you will be notified when that document is either ready to be picked up or mailed to you. Your I-20 must remain valid the entire time you are in the U.S. If you are on a J1 visa, you will not be issued another DS 2019, but your program will be validated in the government SEVIS system. Failure to follow this process and abide by the regulations will result in automatic termination of your immigration. Some of your responsibilities as a TU student. We want you to keep in touch with the ISSS office and check your TU email daily. Your TU email will be your first line of communication, and we send requests, reminders, important information to international students this way. Your TU email will be listed in the government system as your primary point of contact. Keep your contact information, including your address and phone number, up to date at all times. You are required by U.S. regulations to make sure our office, the International Student and Scholar Service Office, has the most current information. Any changes must be reported in the SEVIS system within 10 days, or it is a violation of your immigration status. Keep your I-20 and your DS 2019 up to date. That means if you change your major, add an additional major or a minor, you have funding changes, you receive sponsorship, lose sponsorship, anything like that needs to be reported to the ISSS office. It is your responsibility to notify our office of these changes. Full-time enrollment. For grad students, this means 9 credit hours or more each semester. Do not drop below full-time without prior authorization. This can jeopardize your valid immigration status. Travel. Our process for travel will look a little different during this pandemic. Travel signatures can be found at the bottom of page 2 on your I-20 or on page 1 of the DS 2019. This is valid for 1 year. The process for obtaining a travel signature may look different during this pandemic, and we will adjust accordingly. Make sure to contact CGE and have us check your I-20 or DS 2019 at least 2 weeks before you travel. We process these requests in the order they're received, so when it's a heavy travel time, the process can take up to 2 weeks. Employment. I know that's important on everyone's wish list, so we're going to go over a few things about employment. Number 1, do not work off campus without prior approval from CGE. It doesn't matter if it's paid or unpaid. That is not what determines if it's considered work. You cannot do an internship, externship, or volunteer off campus without prior authorization or notification. True volunteering must be at a nonprofit humanitarian organization and not be related to your degree field. Working without authorization is a violation that will result in the termination of your immigration status. If you're on an F1 visa, you can work on campus 20 hours a week or less during the regular school year without authorization. You can work during the summer or like during spring break, winter break, up to 40 hours a week on campus. If you are on a J1 visa, you must have any work, including on campus, and that includes assistantships and those types of things authorized in the SEVIS system before you may begin. We can touch a little bit on CPT, curricular practical training, and OPT, optional practical training. In the fall or spring, CPT has to be required by your degree in order for me to authorize that. Summer CPT, it still needs to be an integral part and directly related to your degree, and you are required to receive credit for this, so you have to be enrolled in a class. OPT I'm not going to get into too much of that because that's way too much information for new beginning students, but it needs to be filed approximately 90 days before the end of your program. Any questions about OPT, CPT, I will be happy to take appointments on and talk to you directly. We can do a phone conversation or a video. And last, immigration specialist CVIS compliance. Don't take advice from anyone else on campus about your immigration other than the Center for Global Engagement. Your friends, your family, other TU staff, professors, they all want to be helpful, and we hope that you take that in the way it's meant. They want to be helpful to you, but don't take their advice when it comes to matters of immigration. Every person's situation may be a little bit different, so we want to give you the most accurate and up-to-date advice that we can. So you will only come to CGE for immigration advice. We are here to help you maintain your visa status and provide support during your educational career at the University of Tulsa.
All right. Thank you, Carla. Hello again, everybody. This is Kim Henderson, and I'm the director of the International Student and Scholar Services portion of the Center for Global Engagement. I work with Carla on immigration, and I help all the international students by providing specialized support and specialized information. Any international student who has some kind of an issue or a question and who is not sure where to go or what to do can always and should always contact the Center for Global Engagement. We will help direct you to the best office on campus or the best place in the community to provide you with help and support. Today, I want to talk a little bit about health and safety. As everybody is aware, this is an unusual year due to the fact we're in a worldwide pandemic, and it continues to be a fluid situation. What I wanted to talk a little bit about safety in general. Tulsa is a very safe community here in the United States. It is a wonderful place to live, study, and enjoy time with your family and friends. But as in every community across the world, there are places that it is best to refrain from visiting if you're not certain that the environment is safe. The TU campus is safe and secure. It is monitored carefully by TU security. You will see security officers in uniforms around campus. They are here to help keep all of us safe. Out in the community, you will see Tulsa police officers that are here to keep all of us safe if we leave campus after our quarantine. I want to encourage everybody to always feel comfortable contacting campus security, and the phone number is there on the slide, 918-631-5555, or the Tulsa Police in a major emergency at 911. Again, they are here to help and keep all of us safe. I do have a few rules that sometimes can be confusing to people that are new to TU or perhaps even new to the United States. I'd like to share with you a few of the things. Of course, first and foremost, we're going to follow all TU and Tulsa policies on wearing our masks and social distancing, like we've already discussed. In the United States, smoking of cigarettes must be done several feet from the doors of the different buildings. Just as an FYI, recreational marijuana is not legal in the United States. So that is something that some states have determined is legal. It is not legal here in the United States. You want to make sure you know and follow all U.S. and Oklahoma laws. Let's see, if you are driving a car in Oklahoma, you are expected to have insurance. You are expected within 30 days to have an Oklahoma driver's license. Your international licenses will not work in Oklahoma. So when you do your check-in with us, when we talk about immigration, Carla referenced to this, we will also share with you how to get an Oklahoma driver's license. And you'll be driving your cars with automobile insurance per immigration law. Again, we'll come back to that shortly. If the Tulsa police do stop you, or campus security, please remember that they are here to help. Follow all directions and always be very honest with campus security and answer all Tulsa police questions. If you're driving your car and the Tulsa police pull you over, remain in your car with your hands on your driver's wheel, and the police will come up and ask for your identification and for your proof of insurance and even registration. We will go over these things a little more in depth when you do your immigration and international student check-in, but it's important for all of you to know and remember how important it is for everybody to follow campus security and Tulsa community laws. You might notice on Wednesdays, on clear sunny days, sirens that go off at exactly noon. Do not worry. Here in Oklahoma, occasionally there are tornadoes. And if there were to be a tornado, and we hope that never happens, but if there were, there would be a siren to warn everybody so that we can all get to a safe place. Those sirens are checked regularly and always on Wednesdays at noon on clear days. So if you hear a siren on a Wednesday at noon, you do not have to worry about it. Another important local law that all international students and U.S. citizens need to understand: prostitution is not legal in the United States. You must be 21 years of age to take part in any kind of alcohol or be around those who have alcohol. It's your responsibility, if you're around those who are having alcohol, to make sure that those you are with are 21 or older, or you could have a legal issue by being accused of giving somebody who is not 21 alcohol. And when I say alcohol, I'm including beer and wine. I share these things with you all, not because I think anybody is going to have any problems on campus, but because breaking certain laws can be very serious in the United States, and they can lead to immigration being notified and even I-20s revoked. So I want to share this information with you in advance so that you do not have any problems. Another thing that I like to immediately warn international students about so that they have a positive experience while they're here is scams. Unfortunately, scams or people trying to cheat other people out of money happens all over the world. It is a very sad situation, and I hope that none of our students ever experience a scam either in the United States or in their home countries. I want to remind all international students that in the United States, scams can take different forms. Most scams happen with students receiving phone calls and being asked for private information. International students should never give out any part of a social security number, any part of their passport or their I-20 or DS-201 number. They should never provide address or any personal information, and never ever provide banking information or any information about debit cards or gift cards. If anybody ever receives a call where somebody is asking for personal information, immigration document information, social security number, or anything that states that the call could be from the Internal Revenue Service or another government office, I urge every student to immediately hang up and contact us in the Center for Global Engagement. We can help you determine if the call you received is a scam. Again, Tulsa is a very safe, welcoming place full of warm, welcoming people, and we are glad you are here. Laura?
Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about academics, because after all, that's why you came to the University of Tulsa. Me, myself, was an international graduate student many years ago, and I know how scary it can be, how uncertainty you might feel going to a different country with different academic, different expectations, and not knowing exactly how things work. Maybe some of you have done your undergraduate studies in the US and are more familiar with the US educational system, but some of you might not be familiar and might have some very different educational systems back home. So let's just talk a little bit about how things work here. First, let's talk about the terminology that you'll be hearing every day on campus. So academic advisor and collegiate advisor, that's the staff member that works in your college that helps you with registration and helps you with advising on what courses, what time the courses are, which courses are you enrolled in, how can you withdraw from a course, how can you change to a different course, and so on. So each college has an academic advisor, also called collegiate advisor, that can help you with your enrollment and progress towards graduation. Each department or each major has a faculty advisor. So you're going to have an advisor in your major or in your program that can help you make decisions about, okay, which course is better for you, given your background, given what you're trying to accomplish, and so on. So these are different people that can help you, and they're also called advisor, but they are different people that can help you in different things. So TU has several colleges, and some universities are called colleges, but here at TU we have different colleges. We have the College of Engineering and Natural Science. We have the Collins College of Business. We have the College of Arts and Science. We have the Oxley College of Health Sciences. We have the College of Law. So colleges are parts of the university. They are areas of the university. So you should have one college that you belong to. Inside each college, there are departments. For example, the finance department, or the finance school, or the petroleum engineering school. So these are around one discipline. Credit hours are the number of hours that you are enrolled in. Courses have different amounts of credit hours. A credit hour usually means 1 hour a week per the whole semester. So if you are in a course, that's 3 credit hours. So usually you're going to have 3 hours of instruction per week. So different courses have different amounts of credit hours, and they translate to different things in different countries. So if you have questions about conversions, you can ask us as well. And syllabus are documents, and we're going to talk about them a little bit in the next slide. But every faculty member is going to give you a syllabus with information about the course. It's a very important document that can guide you through that course and what the expectations are. And GPA, grade point average, every course, depending on your grade, you get your GPA for that course, and then you have your overall GPA that counts with all the courses that you have done at the University of Tulsa from 0 to 4, so maximum GPA of 4. Now, talking about the syllabus, usually a syllabus includes a schedule, when the class is offered, what's going to happen and which day the course is offered, the contact information for the faculty member, their office hours, what are the course's objectives, and what are the expectations of the course. So what homework you need to do, what the classwork is, what's the policy on attendance. Many classes require in-person attendance, and now in the virtual environment, some classes are going to require synchronous participation. Some classes are going to be asynchronous, so you don't have to attend at a specific time, but that's going to be detailed on the syllabus. I also talks about tests and when they're going to happen, what's going to be on each test, and also the grading scale, maybe a grading rubric, so you know what's the expectation for the class. So these are very important documents that give you a blueprint or a guide to the course. Make sure to look at those carefully. I understand now that with most classes being online, or with several classes being online, the professors, one of the first things that they do is to post a syllabus they can go through and then understand the expectations of that course. A little bit about U.S. culture in the classroom. For some of you, you're very familiar with U.S. culture already. Some of you are not. It might be your first time coming to the U.S. Definitely, the U.S. culture as a whole, being a very diverse culture, is a very diverse country with people from all different cultures. So that also reflects on the classroom and what the expectations are in the classrooms. Usually group work is okay when approved. It's not a given that every assignment is group work, as in some cultures. The US culture is more individualistic, but group work in class is okay when the professor says it's okay. And in that case, you need to contribute to your group or team. Don't expect your other classmates to do the work for you. You need to also participate, engage actively, contributing to class discussions, and showing they're engaged. In class, you need to ask questions. You need to participate. The faculty members are looking for active participation. They're needing questions. They want to see that you understand the material. They want to know that you're interested and engaged in the material. They want to know that you have read the material. So definitely ask questions and show your engagement. And one way to do that is go to office hours. Professors want to see you in their office hours. They want to talk to you. They want to get to know you. And if TU is a small school where every student has individualized attention. So go to your professors, talk to them, and let them get to know you as well. More expectations. Attend every class. If the class is asynchronous online, you don't have that expectation. But if it's a synchronous class, you are expected to attend every class if that's what it says on the syllabus. Be punctual. If the class is at 9, doesn't matter if it's in person, if it's virtual, be there on time. Professors don't want you to arrive at 9:02 when the class starts at 9 o'clock. So be mindful of that. As I said before, read the syllabus carefully to know what the expectation is. Don't expect to leave the semester early, even though plane tickets might be cheaper in a regular semester. Look at the academic calendar and plan accordingly. If your final is a given day, and it is an in-person final, you have to be there for that. If it's online final, then of course, especially now during the pandemic, we have some flexibility during the different modes of instruction and learning that are going on right now. Something else important is be dressed appropriately. Even if in an online class, you don't want to just log in wearing your pajamas or not a shirt on or things like that. You need to just dress appropriately. You don't have to, you shouldn't dress really informally with jeans and a t-shirt, a sweater. There's no dress code, but definitely you don't want to wear your pajamas or things like that to class. So office hours, as I said before, might be something that's not very common in other countries, but in the US is very common, and all professors have office hours. So why would you go to an office hour? You go if you didn't understand the material, if you had to miss a class, if you're going to miss a class, if you need help on assignment, if you have a question about something specific, if you need extension assignment, which is not very common. Most faculty members do not give extension on assignments. But if you have a special circumstance in your life that you wanted to discuss with your faculty member, and if you want your professor to remember you, if you want them to know you and get to know you as a person and be invested in your education and give you advice, professors are great recommenders for later on, for a job, for another graduate program, for other professional things. So definitely go to the office hours. It could be virtual office hours too. Even now with the online teaching and learning, a lot of professors have set up times that you can go and meet them online as well. So make an appointment, be on time, be polite, don't negotiate, don't argue with professor, take notes, be respectful. When you are writing to the professor, of course, be mindful of what you're writing because that's how you're presenting yourself. So just do a good job addressing the email and calling them by doctor or professor so and so on. You usually treat the professors formally until or unless the professor tells you that no, you call me just by my name. But most professors want to be called by doctor or professor and then their last name. That's how is the usual practice over here. So I just want to touch something on academic integrity. That's something that I'm sure the graduate school is going to talk to you at length about. I just want to reiterate that US has some very serious academic integrity regulations for graduate students, of our students in general. It might be very different from your home country, might be slightly different from your home country. So make sure that you have read the Student Code of Conduct and the academic integrity documents and understand what it means. But pretty much you don't turn in somebody else's work as your own. And you don't even turn in a work that you have done for one class, you don't turn into a different class. You don't take photos of tests and then to be used by somebody else. You don't borrow an essay from a friend. You don't copy things and do not use the source and so on. I mean, that can cause you to be suspended or expelled from the university. And of course, that will have ramifications with your visa status as well. And we don't want that to happen. So read carefully all the information about academic integrity. And if you don't understand what something means, always ask clarification for your professor. All right. Now changing gears a little bit, let's talk about Tulsa. After all, you came to Tulsa, or you're going to be here for years, maybe for a long amount of time, and you make sure that you want to explore the beautiful city of Tulsa. I arrived in Tulsa 14 years ago, and I fell in love with Tulsa and everything that Tulsa had to offer, and then I never left. Um, Tulsa is a very vibrant city with vibrant arts and cultural scene, a lot of different international communities, have different festivals and restaurants. It's a small town, but it's a hidden gem. It's a really good place to be, to study, and to work. So I hope you enjoy your time here in Tulsa. So Tulsa, right in the middle of the United States, 2 hours away from Oklahoma City. We are far away from, of course, the coast of New York, on one side, LA, and the other. We are 4 hours from Dallas. Going south, we are 4 hours from Kansas City on the north of us. And these are the biggest cities around. With 2 hours from Oklahoma City, as I said before, which is our capital of the state and the capital of the government of the state of Oklahoma. So I hope you can explore a little bit around as well while you're here studying with us. So Tulsa means the land, sorry, Oklahoma means the land of red men. There's a lot of Native American influence, and this is the land of the Native American people. So you're going to see everywhere the culture of Native American people, and there's different museums and things that you can see and visit. So you can learn a lot about the U.S. culture and history by visiting the different sites around the state. To go around, let's see, to go around a little bit in Tulsa. Tulsa is not like many European cities, for example, that have great public transportation. We don't have great public transportation, unfortunately. So a way to get around in Tulsa is by Uber or some kind of shared drive program, share ride. So that's a different ways you can go around, or you can walk to some places that are within walking distance from campus. So on 11th Street, there's quite a few like restaurants, fast food places, QT that has like convenience items, so you can walk. There are Tulsa buses, and if you look at this link, tulsatransit.org, you can see the routes and where they're going, when they're coming, and so on. So check that out. To go downtown, for example, you can take a Tulsa city bus, but they don't go by very often. You have to look at the schedule to make sure that you get there when you need to be there. King Transit, TU has a shuttle system that takes the students to shopping every Saturday. So check that out as well. Maybe some changes are going to be put in place because of COVID. So I'm not completely sure how it's going to work this semester, but check that out on the housing website. Or make friends with people who have cars, or buy a car, as Kimberly was saying before. You might want to buy a car and then add your car insurance and get a driver license and go through the process. If you're going to be here for a few years, that might be the best way instead of depending on other people that have cars. But why do you want a car? Why do you want to go around? There's so much to see and do. So here are just some photos of places you can see. I think one of my favorite places in Tulsa, or my favorite place in Tulsa, is the Gathering Place. It's a beautiful, beautiful park. You can just go to study, to read, to walk around, to relax. You can go biking. There's a beautiful playgrounds. There is just a lot of areas to just like sit and relax. Beautiful flowers. It's just a gem. It's a very beautiful park. So make sure to check that out. And then we have Philbrook Museum, Gilchrist Museum. Utica Square is a nice place for shopping, for eating, for hanging out. 15th Street is not very far from campus. They have a farmer's market, a little market every Saturday morning in the spring to fall, that you can just walk around and chat with people and buy some fresh produce. But 15th Street itself has a lot of restaurants and stores and so on. So just some photos of some cool places to go. Brookside's another district with a lot of restaurants and bars and things like that. The Brady Arts District, the Guthrie Green, Drillers Baseball, Greenwood Cultural Center. These are not the first one, but the other three are downtown. So you can just go downtown and see those places. So there's a lot of little places, fun places to discover. Downtown by the Guthrie Green, every first Friday of the month, they have the Art Friday. So you can go around, the galleries are open, there's something going on usually. So just check that out. Some other parks, Woodward Park, Riverside Park, Kane Ballroom, Brady Theater, and so on. There's a lot of fun places to go around Tulsa. The BOK Center, the Jenks Aquarium, there's a zoo, especially if you brought little ones with you, there's a good place to go. And every October, or end of September, October, we have the Tulsa State Fair, which is a really cool, very unique American culture tradition thing. You can just go and just people watch. Is already very interesting. So you can do that and learn a little bit more about Tulsa and Oklahoma and what the State Fair is all about. So these are fun things to do in Tulsa, but we have a very, very active cultural life right here on campus. And I'm sure that you'd enjoy getting involved in it. There's many ways to get involved. I just encourage you to just say hi to people. People are very friendly on campus. I know campus life will look differently this fall with COVID-19 and social distancing and the number of events that have to be cut down. We are not sure about sports yet. So it'll be a different semester for sure. But still, just look around, look at signs around campus. There's a lot of clubs, organizations. you as a busy graduate student might not have as much time to do many of those things, but it's important too to have a little bit of fun and social time as well. So different ways you can do to meet other students. So that's some bullet points there, or some ideas. Join organization, participating in a group sport. Again, I don't know exactly how that's going to work for this fall. Set up study groups for your classes, and so on. We usually have a couple events as well a year for international students, so we'll make sure that you're aware of those. There are many international and organizations on campus, so these are just some of them. So we have Association of International Students and the Chinese Student Association, for example, and so many other ethnic cultural organizations. So make sure to know about those and possibly join. So that's it. This is kind of just a checklist, for a mental checklist. You can think, okay, have I taken care of my course enrollment? Is my housing all set up on campus or even off campus? Do I have my student ID? Do I want to get a TU bike? What is my TU net ID? Is my student account all settled? Do I have a payment plan, or have I figured out how much I owe to the university, how I'm going to pay? The health center, have you submitted the forms that they needed? Have you uploaded your immunization requirements to their portal? And then attending the Center for Global Engagement immigration check-in that you're going to get more information about. So that's going to be, for this fall, it's going to be a virtual session, but it's going to be synchronous. So you're going to have a time that you log into a link and then talk to us, and we're going to give you more information and answer questions and so on. But that's it. So I want to share with you our contact information. And again, this is just a slide, but this PowerPoint also going to be available, so you can write down and copy the information. You can email us at any time. You can call us. In red, the numbers for the Center for Global Engagement, so the main number and the main email address. So don't hesitate to contact us. We are your home away from home. We are kind of a first point of reference in the university as an international graduate student. And we are here Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. Not in person this semester, but virtually for sure. You can just give us a call, email us, and we will help you. And if something happens in the weekend, or not office hours, you can also email us and we can respond as soon as we can. But also call security at 631-5555. So 918-631-5555 for real emergencies as well. So that's it. So excited to have you here with us and sharing your time with us. And we are here at the Center for Global Engagement, ready to help you, and have a great semester.